Does anyone remember who Echo is? I certainly don't. Oh, she was that one Kingpin grunt in the Hawkeye show, which I'm sure everyone watched. Right? No one asked for this show. No one asked for the Agatha show. And yet, Disney still persists with them. In order for these side character spin-off shows to work, the MCU needs to make us care. They need to do the legwork with these characters. Get it? Legwork? Because Echo doesn't have a... It was a good joke. Anyway, the problem is, I can't recall a single personality trait from Echo. She's uninteresting. Let's be honest here. Everyone seeing this show is purely there for Daredevil and Kingpin. If they weren't in this, no one would give this show a second thought. Is this show any good? Well, the short answer is...
no.
The longer answer is, it's painfully dull. Didn't leave an impression on me whatsoever. All that marketing of this being a gritty MCU show with your favorite characters, Kingpin and Daredevil, it's all bullshit. All the supposed grit and violence feels incredibly tame compared with the Netflix Daredevil series. With the Daredevil show, I can easily recall Kingpin decapitating a guy's head with a car door. But with Echo, there's nothing close to that. In fact, I'm struggling to recall a particularly violent scene at any moment. What about Daredevil? Is he in the show? Yep, for a total of 98 seconds. The trailers would make you think he'd be in it more. That fight scene that leaked? That's the only Daredevil in this thing. And thank God, because unlike Kingpin, he escaped from some terrible writing and being publicly shamed. Oh no, wait. All the marketing for these Disney Plus shows are lies. I remember a time Kevin Feige himself mentioned Moon Knight was gonna be brutal. It wasn't. Instead, it gave us a guy who embraces his mental illness and grows close to his other personality disorder. What a lovely message. Anyway, let's talk about the parts of Echo that stood out. And let's get to them quickly, since this show is so forgettable and dumb that I'm already blanking on what even happened. First things first, Maya's tragic origin story. I'm putting tragic in quotation marks, since Maya doesn't seem all that bothered about it, judging from her wide range of expressions. She loses a leg because of a glass shard from the windshield. It fully lodged right in there. A friend by the name of Mr. Bug was the first guy who I saw that made a really good point about this. Go follow him on Twitter.
The glass in your windshield is actually 2 panes of glass. It's got a layer of glass, layer of vinyl, and another layer of glass. The layer of vinyl makes sure that everything sticks together. It doesn't shatter all over the place and stick in your neck and kill you.
If windshields did break like this, cars would be an absolute death trap. The casualty rates in car crashes would go sky high. As we go on throughout the episodes, I couldn't help but be absolutely bored. There's a bunch of shots of walking to motorcycles, riding motorcycles, conversations in sign language, conversations between 2 other family members, more sign language. These scenes aren't particularly engaging, and it really doesn't help with the fact that the main lead can't act at all. And that would be because the main lead isn't an actress. The Hawkeye show was her first ever debut, and it shows. So, let me get this straight. For some reason, Marvel decided to give someone who has no previous acting experience a whole show. Makes you think they really are doing some money laundering scheme. Kingpin, sign language, and Native Americans. That's all there is to this show. There's no character arc of any sort, no character progression, no themes. There's next to nothing in this thing. It's soulless. I don't see any essence of art. I just see a lame product. I feel apathy towards this show. Actually, that would be a lie. I did feel something. The Kingpin stuff really annoyed me. There is a scene in which Kingpin offers Echo a position of power, an offer to join him. He even offers her the chance to kill him. Echo decides not to kill him. Why on earth not? She's killed plenty of people without a second thought before. But whatever. Kingpin then tells her to join him on his private plane to New York in the morning. Unfortunately, Echo leaves Kingpin hanging, completely stood him up on the date, and ghosted his text, so he has a little cry about it. This is completely out of character for Kingpin to do. First off, why would Kingpin reveal to Maya how his father died? How exactly does that get him any leverage or convince her to join him? Kingpin always effectively bends people to his will, and he's doing a terrible job of it here. To prove my point, here's some scenes from Daredevil Season 3. For some reason, Season 3 of Daredevil is regarded as good, but the weakest of the three. But in my humble opinion, it's very underrated. Anyway, the last time Kingpin revealed to someone how his father died, it was to Agent Poindexter.
You don't know anything about me. Say something! When I was a boy, I beat my father's skull in with a hammer. I was 12 years old. Young for my age, in fact. Terribly inexperienced. I'd never been to a dance with a girl or stayed up past midnight. Never been out of the city or even taken a subway on my own. Yet there I was, 12 years old, standing over my father's body, watching him die by my hand. That feeling, that moment, I sense it's something you're familiar with. You were taught to hide beneath many fictions. You fashioned yourself into something the world would tolerate. I should have let you die. Stay back. Julie never would have understood you. And society won't either. It punishes people like you. Like us.
He's slowly manipulating him, wrapping him around his finger by gaining some sympathy. Revealing his secret was an effective strategy, especially since Dex has a fragile and psychotic mind. On the other hand, Kingpin revealing to Maya his secret in this situation is nowhere near as effective. For some reason, Kingpin gives her a whole night to think about it, and then he's surprised when he gets rejected. This is idiotic. Kingpin would never get himself into this awkward and embarrassing situation. And Maya is an absolute idiot for thinking there wouldn't be any consequences for rejecting the offer. A word of advice, you don't say no to a mob boss.
I'm gonna make him an offer he can't refuse.
And then there's the cherry on the top. In the last episode, the final confrontation, Kingpin takes Maya's close ones to a barn. Instead of kidnapping them and using them as blackmail, or a number of other things an actual mob boss would do, instead he does what every cliche villain would do. Give the main character a golden opportunity to save the day. Then Maya gets Professor X powers, enters Kingpin's mind, and tells him to simply forget about his childhood. Yes, you heard me right, Professor X powers. It's as absurd as it sounds, and was never previously established. Anyway, that was the moment I turned off the show, when Kingpin was retreating to his car like a complete baby, complete coward, instead of the ruthless strategist that we know in the Daredevil show. Just like Daredevil, he's now done his walk of shame. Mark my words, Punisher is going to be next. Thank you all for watching. I'll see you guys on the next superhero media disaster.